Armchair chat, blood, sweat, stats. We rewind the wars and the wins. Bell rings again. Storyline spin under the lights where the legends begin. This is the value of wrestling. We are. Big time, big time, big time. Walking alone till the lights go blind.
Oh, you didn't know. You better go.
They said I'd break, said I'd fade in the
This is the value of wrestling.
I learned to
A
bleed
big
on the
time
cold
breakdown
floor.
coming at you live right now with the Big Tyme himself. Yes, the Big Tyme. Big T Baldwin in the house, in the studio.
Big time, Bill from the Los
Ladies
Angeles
and
from
gentlemen,
the
I hope you like the new
Los
music
Angeles. I was the underdog left in the dark.
and the new stuff that we're putting out. Check out the Value of Wrestling at valuewrestling.com. That's value of wrestling, one word.com on the internet. You can check out the Value of Wrestling website. You can listen to the new music that's coming out. Check out all the stuff that's coming up. Even stay up to date on current wrestling independent events in our local area that are upcoming. But the Big Time's here because, well, I thought there was a little bit of news that had been brewing and stirring that the big man, Mr. Z, and Bravo Tango didn't talk about last night. And it's coming forward, and it's coming in this way. It's getting really, really interesting. Now, people are all over the place about this, and everybody has a right to their opinion, and that is fine. I'm just going to give you 2 cents. I'm going to drop a dime in the machine, and we're going to discuss a little bit of this. How you feel is how you feel. You can agree or disagree with me, and that's okay. But it's very interesting that we come off a Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Pat McAfee heel turn, and we wonder why. And a lot of people have crapped on why it is Pat McAfee that got in the ring and punted Cody in his crown jewels, and why the turn. And we know that he was like the Attitude Era. This isn't the Attitude Era. This isn't like the Attitude Era. So we have to wonder, what is the underlining statement here that, Pat McAfee saying Cody Rhodes is the reason wrestling is ruined. Cody Rhodes is ruining wrestling. Something's missing from these pieces. And we go back, and all the reports from Meltzer and a lot of these people are saying that it was always going to be McAfee, that there wasn't anybody else lined up, that they went to McAfee originally. McAfee turned it down, but eventually McAfee was talked into doing this. So why is it McAfee? What does McAfee, Randy, Cody, what do they have that is connecting them? And why are we putting more celebrities in WrestleMania than I think we've ever seen before in like actual either matches or at ringside? Because we're seeing Lil Yachty going to be at ringside. We know Ice Show Speed after tonight's going to be in a match. We know Joey Roll is headed to WrestleMania. And now we know Pat McAfee is being interjected into this WrestleMania main event championship match, and we have to wonder what is up with all these celebrities. Now, Pat McAfee has been a part of the WWE roster for a little bit. He has wrestled a couple matches. He is, Pat McAfee. And a while back, a question was asked, is, the times were turning. It was getting closer. Football season was over, and Pat McAfee was asked if he was going to be returning to WWE. And his statement was, wrestling has passed him by, and it probably wasn't going to happen. Was this all a stage? Was this all a setup? Was this all a game? Was this all a part of the plan to begin with? Is a discussion we like to have, and you have to wonder if that was all meant to be, was put in place to be, was going to happen in that way. We don't know. But it's very interesting that Pat McAfee is here. But we also have to look at the aspects of, there's a lot of heat on Triple H. They're telling Triple H that he's not capable of, booking these shows. There's been rumors circulating that Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are going to step away after WrestleMania. It seems like all the heat is falling on Triple H. And we know that Triple H is really good with the NXT Gold brand. The black and gold of NXT was hot. was one of the hottest commodities of professional wrestling in many years recently. So why is Triple H not able to take that molding and synchronize it with the main roster? What is going on and what are we missing? And you have to start wondering, is there things in place? Because we know Vince really quashed Triple H, held Triple H back, and forced Triple H to work in a certain way, or didn't use Triple H's way of doing things on the main roster. So we have to look and go, is there somebody else that is doing that? Is Triple H stuck playing a puppet and giving the world what somebody else's vision of WWE is? Because we know now that WWE is owned by TKO, and TKO is headed by President Ari Emanuel, and we know that Ari Emanuel has a lot of connections, even to the point that Ari Emanuel is the agent for one Pat McAfee. So what does that mean, and what does that say? And is it actually Ari Emanuel who's the enemy here, or are we building to something bigger? And the only reason I start discussing this is because after tonight's Monday Night Raw, and a lot of people are going back and forth on this too, we open with a really hot take. I felt the goosebumps. I felt the old school. I felt real. Now, it was said because it was so bad with the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Pat McAfee storyline from SmackDown that Cody had to go out this week and shoot a promo, non-scripted. He had to go out there and shoot it, and really felt that Cody had found his niche. And we always say when a wrestler goes out there without a script, maybe some bullet points or what the basic idea of what they want him to talk about, it's always more legitimate. It's always more better. It's always better, not more better, but it's just better. It's always better. It's more better, I feel. So we saw a really great Cody promo. And now we open Monday Night Raw with a really hot, true CM Punk style pipe bomb. Now, a lot of people are saying he didn't progress the story with him and Roman. And I think he did in a lot of ways. I think he touched on a lot of true things with Roman. He went back into a lot of things about who Roman is and what he is. It's the system versus the man in a way that he's telling that Roman was the chosen one. Roman was the system one. Roman was, just he had everything handed to him on the silver platter. He came through because his daddy was here. His daddy wrestled here. His daddy, the family, the lineage, the rock, the connection. And CM Punk had to fight his way in and has always fought to be everything he is and prove who he is. So we got a little of that old CM Punk that I think we all really love. Now, a lot of people are crapping on this going, oh, this is what they want Punk to go out there and do, to sell the tickets. But, I mean, that's what wrestling's about. I don't care if it's the big stage of WWE with the lights turned up to 10,000, or if it's an arena in Elk Grove where the lights might flicker, whether it's a Jackrabbit Brewery, a press club event, or in an ugly dojo in a building in a shopping center. The whole point for a wrestler when they're doing a promo in general is to build interest and intrigue, whether it's for those people in the building or whether it's for the future. And it's really mostly a lot of wrestling is about building promos to get people to come see this event, to see something done. And yes, you'll see it on the independent scene here and there. I've seen a lot more in local sceneries. I've seen some of our boys try to put out promo videos to get people interested in the upcoming events and learn that style and get that under their tongue and get going. But a promo is and will always be about getting seats, getting butts in the seats. So to hate on CM Punk for going out and doing a promo where he hypes up the main event in his way and tells how Roman Reigns got to where he was and where CM Punk got into the way he was, and telling the world that he can't be controlled, and getting a lot of love. Old CM Punk, the CM Punk I think a lot of people want back. And it does give a lot of interesting vibe because it does feel like Punk went off script or went off in his own direction. Though we know that he was probably scripted to hit on certain points, but I don't think his script was a detailed written, this is your script. It was probably, here's the points we need to cover. And the biggest piece of this is that after he gets done running up and down Roman, all of a sudden he turns his attention to Pat McAfee and what Pat McAfee had to say. And CM Punk in that brought up the fact that McAfee needs to reach out to his own agent to tell him to lower the ticket prices, putting the blame on TKO. So we brought up the ticket prices, which a lot of fans are complaining about, and it's an interesting fix there. We know CM Punk's very vocal about things, and I wouldn't be surprised if CM Punk isn't very vocal about, can we make these prices more affordable? Now that CM Punk go off into his own tangents himself, is he free to do that? We could speculate. Is there stuff going on in the back that needs to come to the forefront? Is Triple H reading a revolution from the inside out? And where are all the pieces of the puzzle? And it's Ari Emanuel who's the evil boss now? Or is that role going to be played by somebody who's working on their comeback? Now, a lot of people are wondering where he is, why we haven't seen him, and how he fits into all these things. We know he came back last year. He was going to be a part of what looked like a storyline with John Cena and Cody Rhodes that really fell flat when he had to back out. And then we know that he lost a lot of weight to go do a movie. And I can only assume that he doesn't want to come back until he really puts back on that weight, bulks back up, because would you really want to see a less than Rock? And if Rock is not 100 and not built like The Rock to be The Rock, to show his face in the WWE ring as The Rock, then there's a reason to have The Rock. And does The Rock play any role in this at all? Who knows? But there's a lot of stuff going on, and people are back and forth. It's Triple H's fault. CM Punk is selling out for the system. Cody Rhodes just sucks. A lot of people love the Cody Rhodes promo, but they're crapping on the CM Punk promo. What is going on behind the scenes, and are we seeing a change in the era? And now I know a lot of people are going to come out, oh, we don't need another change. CM Punk or Triple H came out and said, oh, it's a new era. It's a new era. We can keep getting this new era, and we're not really seeing a new era. But are we pushing into a new era in an old way? Are we going to get what might have tingled the buttons, what might have been the thing that made the Attitude Era hot? I don't think we can relive the Attitude Era. You can't capture that lightning in a bottle again, but you can take pieces from the Attitude Era and throw it into modern day wrestling and mix it up and create something new, a new era that's turned up a little bit higher than wrestling has been. And we need that. I think it's sorely missed. I think WWE needs to get back into some of that. I think better wrestling is when it feels a little more legit, when it feels a little more real, when it comes from the soul. And sometimes that's not easy. Sometimes as a wrestler trying to figure out who you are and trying to figure out how you fit into the whole system or finding your place isn't always easy, because you're trying to find something to be that's yourself up. And all the greatest wrestlers have always really truly been who they are, turned up to 12, 100, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, if we let all these guys start going as them at 100%, maybe we need to move into that era of wrestling. Maybe it's time to be a little more real, bring a little bit more attitude, and just turn everything up and let the show go wild and see how far we can push it again. We know AEW is pushing the envelope beyond its means, and I don't want a spot monkey show that's of things that are just over the top. Because AEW is choosing things to be over the top. They want to be the alternative, and that's great. And I don't wish ill will against AEW. I want to see AEW be successful, be a strong contender, and be something that people are watching. I miss the Attitude Era in the sense of when you had WCW and you had WWE, and they were competing against each other. They were trying to get your money. They were trying to get you to come watch their show. They were trying to create ratings and go back and forth. This is what made great TV. This is what made things great. This is what made a lot of people a lot of money. Cash creates controversy. Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff said it best and wrote a whole book about it. Controversy creates cash. And that's what we need in wrestling. If AEW wants to upscale, AEW can be the alternative. But they need to still push the envelope in a way that's growing. And WWE needs to look at AEW and say they can be WCW. We need to push these doors and push these boundaries just a little bit and find out what we're missing in wrestling. We're in a lull of professional wrestling. Wrestling's making more money than it ever has. So it is doing something right, or we wouldn't all be here complaining, talking and discussing it. So as much as you hate it, you're still watching it. As much as you say, ew, they're selling out, you're still watching it. As much as you're complaining about it, you're still watching it. And there's a reason you're still watching it. So wherever you may stand, you may be an AEW fan, you may be a WWE fan, you may be a wrestling fan who watches both and all of wrestling. You may be a guy that loves to go to the independent shows and hang out with some of the talented young men and women that are going to be the bright future of tomorrow when it comes to independent wrestling and wrestling as a whole. But what I'm telling you is I think we're seeing a change. Something's going on. Did the Pat McAfee thing work as well as WWE wanted it to? Maybe, maybe not. Did Ari Emanuel push to put Pat McAfee in this as Pat McAfee's agent? Is there more insight? Is Pat McAfee coming from the inside? Is Pat McAfee now aligned with a higher authority? And I know that's a bad pun. I know that's a horrible statement to make. And I know I don't want to say that, but is there something else brewing behind the scenes that we got to let cook, that we got to let fester, that we got to let grow? Now, I also know a lot of people are mad because they don't get why Gunther is going after Seth Rollins. But I think we got a big storyline push tonight when he shook hands with Paul Heyman and goes, "You owe me a lot more than a thank you." Is this Gunther's way of building towards what everybody wants? Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. Now, I think Brock loses to Obafemi at WrestleMania, loses that shine, and he comes face to face with Gunther, who gets to laugh at him and go, "You don't have it anymore. You can't do it anymore. And it's time for me to put you out to pasture." I think SummerSlam, we can see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar in a retirement match of Brock Lesnar. Imagine what could happen to Gunther's stock in less than a year if he retires John Cena, AJ Styles, and the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Let that sink in. Let that digest. Chew it up. Taste it. Because I think there's something tasty cooking there. There's a reason Gunther shook Paul Heyman's hand and told him he owes him a whole lot more than a big old thank you. And Paul Heyman knows he's in trouble. What does this mean? And what does this lead to? Is just Gunther trying to get back into the main event spotlight? Does Gunther think somebody is going to be a champion that's associated with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's going to hold the keys to the kingdom? It's interesting right now because there's no Braun Breaker right now. The vision of Logan Paul and Austin Theory are tag team champion. Bronson Reed's on the shelf. Brock Lesnar, I doubt, will be a champion again before he disappears and fades away for his final time, nor do I think Brock Lesnar should be champion. So what does Paul Heyman have for Gunther? Does Gunther think Roman Reigns is going to beat CM Punk and Paul Heyman still has good graces with Roman? Does he think that Paul Heyman can get anything he wants, can even talk CM Punk in fighting Gunther for that title? I don't know. The only connection that seems strong and makes the most viable sense is that Gunther saved Paul Heyman in hopes of getting to Brock Lesnar. I think we're building to the next main event. Will it be SummerSlam? Will it be Brock Lesnar versus Gunther in a Brock Lesnar retirement match? So I think we see a lot of things building. Is the WWE WrestleMania build the best? I think it's lackluster. I think it's missing pieces. I think this tag team match that we got announced tonight, LA Knight, yeah, and the Usos, going to take on ISHO Speed and the vision of Logan Paul and Austin Theory. It's a way to get ISHO Speed in the match and keep it protected. What's going to happen to ISHO Speed? Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, going to be a good match. Maybe overshadowing the women's championship match. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Valkyrie, Jade Cargill, and Rhea Ripley. Still so much. We know Rey Mysterio is now the sixth man to enter the six-pack challenge of that ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, but it still leaves out a Grande Americano, who is the hottest thing in Mexico. And if WWE wants to capitalize, they need to have him in the match, maybe. Or where's the original El Griego luchador? El Gringo Americano, come into play? Are we going to see something there? We need to get these builds. We need to get these final things. We're talking TikTok. Boom. Before we're here, we got 2 more Monday Night Raws, don't we? We have 2 more Monday Night Raws before WrestleMania because we have 1 more Raw before WrestleMania. That's next Monday, the 13th, and that's going to be in Sacramento, California. So it should be very, very interesting to see how that plays out, how that comes together. So make sure you stay alert, stay alive, pay attention, because things are cooking. And I think people need to understand there's more to what we are seeing than there is. And we just got to let it come to fruition. We got to let it cook. We got to let it bake. Are we moving into a new era? I don't know. Is CM Punk dropping pipe bombs? Hell yeah. He dropped a pretty good pipe bomb. I felt like there was old CM Punk in there. What does it all mean? That's the question you need to be asking. Not hating on it. But people are going to hate because they like to hate. People are angry because they can't get what they want right away. But there's a reason, and I think we got to give it time. WrestleMania is going to be a big key piece, and then after WrestleMania, we're going to turn a new page. It'll be a new chapter. Will it be a whole new era? Who knows? Is that word getting coined over again and again? Probably so. I know a lot of people are disappointed because we really haven't got a new era in wrestling. But are we seeing Triple H fighting with the upper echelon of TKO? Is the TKO meddling in Triple H's business? Is TK all in control? Is The Rock behind all of this in the get-go? Who is really running this, and why is it where it is? Is it worse? Is it better? People can hate, people can love, but there's something going on, and I think we all need to step back and see what the future holds. I'm the Big Tyme, and I appreciate you stopping by and checking out this video. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you're following us on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok. Go to thevaluewrestling.com. Go to our webpage, valuewrestling.com. Check out all the stuff on there. It's going to have quick links to videos. It's going to have quick links to all the music that I've created. In that context, it has some of the local independent local independent wrestling companies in our area that we love and support. It also has an event calendar that's going to tell you all the major events coming up, like this weekend, where we have 3 big events from 3 major companies we love to work with. And so you want to check that out. But you also want to come back Thursday night right here at 9:30 on Thursday night when the IWCP goes live, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast goes live with Mr. Z and Bravo Tango. And they talk about the IWC, all the Independent Wrestling Community Podcasts, where everything independent goes down. They talk in detail and give you all the information, tell you about all the major events coming up this weekend so you can get hot and ready, because it is the last weekend before WrestleMania weekend, and it's going to be crazy. And then we're leading into some major events. So make sure you're here for that on Thursday and every Sunday, the Weekly Roundup podcast, where we talk about everything in wrestling. It's going to be a big one this weekend as we head into WrestleMania. And then it's WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. And better get ready. But for now, I'm going to get out of here, and I will see you all on the next one. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's the one we want again. On the Big Time, BG Baldwin. This is the Value Wrestling Podcast. This has been the Breakdown with the Big Time.
Walking alone till the lights
I will catch you on the next one.
They said I'd break, said I'd